Hey guys, thank you for checking out our YouTube channel. My name's Sean Ullers. I'm the founder and chief instructor of Pinnacle Combat Arts. I'm an expert in military combatives, Bruce Lee's Jeet Kune Do, Filipino Kali, Silat, several grappling arts, and advanced tactical firearms. Today, we're going to be working on Contra Sumbrada Part 3. Let's get started. This is part 3 of the Contra Sumbrada series. What is Contra Sumbrada? Contra Sumbrada means counter for counter. It is simply a way for two people to understand different lines of attack and be able to not only deal with those attacks, but learn new ways of attacking and counterattacking. Okay, this is a very important principle. So let's review it one more time. We have what they call 3-count Contra Sumbrada, which is your first basic one. He feeds me the number 1. He does an inside deflection, then I do a drop stick. Then I feed him. He goes 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. Let's do it slower now. So as I feed him a number 1, he does a roof. Okay? Then he feeds me a 1, I do the inside deflection. I feed him a 4, he does a drop stick. Feeds me a 1, and we start the whole thing over again. Inside deflection, drop stick. We worked on the Contra Sumbrada, the 3-part, with the drop stick. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add in the other aspects of the drill. So what do I mean by that? So what we do is we start off by adding a different attack on one aspect of the Contra Sumbrada drill. So instead of doing, when you do the 4, instead of doing a drop stick, we're going to change it to several different other ways of handling it. The first one is going to be what they call outside low wing. The outside low wing is simply where instead of my stick being up like this and going in for a drop stick, I'm going to have my stick come around like this and handle the attack on the outside position. Now, why do we do this? It's based on where our stick is at that moment in time. Maybe I'm in the middle of an attack and all of a sudden they attack me on this side. And all of a sudden my stick is not where I can just go straight down. Maybe my stick is on this side of my body. And it'd be better for me to handle that attack if I just do what we call low outside wing. Now we're going to put it into the Contra Sumbrada. So he gives me number 1, outside low wing. So right there. Outside low wing. 1, 2, 3. Outside low wing. 1, 2, 3. Outside low wing. Two that we've been working on, the drop stick and the outside low wing, can all be handled by the low diagonal up or the horizontal across. But the number 2, we're going to handle it a little bit different. And the first one I'm going to show you is called the shield. The shield, it's as if you're holding a weight in your hand and you're doing a curl like this. You're going to take your weapon and you're going to go up just like that until you get to just above your head, right above your head, where this is going to protect you from, and the angle can be changed just so slightly based on the angle of the horizontal strike. But you can technically, you just want to bend your wrist just a little bit. That will be good enough for now. And then this hand comes out and you check. You always want to check. Okay, so we go 1 and then check. Now we can incorporate it into the Contra Sumbrada. So we go number 1. And it comes around, and now he does the shield. Or I do the shield. Now he does the roof. So roof, inside deflection, shield. Roof, number 1, inside deflection, and shield. Okay? All right, so now let's go ahead and do it slow so they can actually see it. So we go to the number 1. Inside deflection, shield. So right here, 1. So there's the shield, okay? I feed a number 1. He does the roof. He gives me a number 1. I do an inside deflection. I give him a 2 and he shields. Gives me a number 1. I roof. Number 1 inside deflection. He does a 2 and I shield. Roof deflection number 1. Inside deflection number 1. Shield. I roof. He inside deflects, I shield. So that's the basics you've got to develop over time. The last one is called the outside deflection. it is if the weapon is pointing up and I'm going across my body just like this to deal with that number 2 that's coming in and attacking me at this line. I come in like this and I check. So think of it, I always say, think of it as a force field. The point of the weapon sticks up, I go across, I check, okay, and then I go in with a number 1. So outside deflection, number 1, okay, just like that. So outside deflection and check, number 1. And what happens is usually inside the exercise, what's going to happen is I feed a number 1 to them, okay, and they are going to do a inside deflection. After I do that number 1, I'm going to bring my weapon to this shoulder. They come in to attack at this line because this line is open. I'm going to take that line, I'm going to in and check, and then I come back with the number 1. So that is the basic way you do it. Number 1, inside deflection, outside deflection. 1, outside deflection. See that? So there's the outside deflection right there. All right, so go ahead and work that. All right, so that is those are the 3 aspects added into the Contra Sumbrada. So now we're going to do and put a lot of this stuff together. The last one is called 5-count Contra Sumbrada. The 5-count Contra Sumbrada puts on 5 parts on each side. What do I mean by that? So you've noticed that there is what they call outside deflection, there's inside deflection, there's shield, there's roof, there's all these different positions. And so what's going to happen is we're going to combine some of those things together. This is a very important principle. So you want to think of Contra Sumbrada as a starting point, and you build up from there. It is a way to help you to learn the different lines of attack so that later on you won't have to stay inside the confines of a set of patterns. Patterns are only created so you can break them later on, okay? Because in a fight, obviously, when somebody's attacking you, you don't know what's going to take place. You're not going to fight within a pattern. So you're learning how to have these patterns to learn how to deal with the proper lines of attack. This is so essential when it comes to weapons, okay? So the way that I'm going to break this down is I'm going to show you. So it's going to be roof, and I check. I'm going to come around doing number 1. I'm going to go right the same exact thing before. I drop stick, but instead I'm going to thrust. When I do that thrust, they're going to do what they call an inside low wing. From the inside low wing, the 2 comes in, okay? And then the whole thing starts all over again, okay? Because they do a shield, and they're going to feed me a 1, and it's all going to start over again. So we're going to do it slowly in front of the mirror, in front of each other first, so you can see what this is supposed to look like. So when I go 1, I'm doing a roof, inside deflection, and I drop stick here when he feeds me the number 4. When I feed that number 7, he's going to do an inside low wing, which is the new one that we're adding. I'm going to shield and then do number 1. He does the roof, and then we do the whole thing all over again on the other side. Thrust and low wing. He shields back and forth just like this. All right, so one of the things that I want to talk about with you is the new one. This is called low inside wing. So on the last video, you learned low outside wing. Now you're going to learn low inside wing. So what I want you to do in the mirror, I take my weapon and I'm going to circle just like this. My hand's going to come in the inside and I check. Okay, so that's the first thing I want you to do. You're going to go 1, 2, and you can just do a slash through if you want to for the 2. Then go back into it, low inside wing and check, slash through. Low inside wing, check, slash through. So what's going to happen is when your partner feeds the number 7, it's going to come in here. I'm going to check their hand, and then I'm going to do a number 2. Okay, let's do it from the other side. He feeds. I'm going to go into this position here. My hand is going to come in and check. I'm going to come up, and he gives me the number 2. He'll just go right back to the number 7. So he'll come back 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. So doing this is very important. Just practicing this back and forth, learning how to redirect that attack. Okay, and technically the way I would be is I would hold that there and then just go right for the neck. Okay, and then it'd be up to him if he could try to counter it or not. But as you're practicing your partner, you want your partner to become just as good as you, so he's gonna practice doing his shield. So this is just a one-sided, I call it a one-sided Sumbrada, but you're both countering. Okay, just like that. So now we're gonna add it into the exercise. It's so imperative that you take your time and you really get to learn each movement. So I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3. So right after I do that drop stick here, I'm gonna thrust. He's gonna do the low wing and check my hand. Okay, and then he gives me that 2. I'm gonna come up and I'm gonna shield. 1, 2, and then drop stick, go into this position. I check, shield, 1, 2, and I come in this position here, see? Having a moment. I'll do a little bit of this for fun. Good. All right, so the next part to this is what I want you to do is break it down for you. We're going to go piece by piece, making sure that you understand each step. So I'm going to get out a little bit so you can get the footwork down. So roof, number 1, drop stick, thrust, shield, 1, inside deflection, number 4, inside low wing, number 2, roof deflection, number 1, drop stick, thrust, shield, number 1, switch your feet, inside deflection, number 4, inside low wing, number 2, roof, number 1, switch your feet, drop stick, you're gonna thrust, shield, number 1, switch your feet, inside deflection, number 4, inside low wing, number 2, roof deflection, number 1. So that's the aspects of what it is that you want to do. You want to do step by step, get in front of the mirror. You got to spend lots of time just getting to know the movements so that they become natural to you when you're working out with your partner. Go ahead and work on this. I hope you have a great day. This is part 3 of the Contra Sumbrada series. Thank you so much for checking out our video today. Like, subscribe, comment down below, hit the bell so you can be notified at new videos that are coming out. Thank you so much for your support. Have an awesome day.